Good afternoon, everyone, and welcome back to Fate in Space. Hopping to the sneaky room. Beep beep.
Beep beep.
I have returned.
Welcome.
Welcome indeed.
Now we all run away.
Now you run.
Hey.
Post our last adventure, fortunately, only one of us has a somewhat piercing headache. Aldris mostly cured you of that, Georgiana, so that shall be gone relatively soon. Yay for you.
My favorite person.
He does have the good touch. Super mage.
How good is that touch, though?
It was good enough to roll an 8, I think.
Yeah.
Hey.
That is some
That was a
bonkers
perfect
ass.
roll.
Yeah. Oh yeah, I think it was. Yeah. 4, and then you had +4. Yeah, that is literally as good as you possibly could have rolled, and I believe you needed a 6. So I don't know how many fate points you had at that time, but you pulled.
I think.
Probably 1. Yeah, you pulled through. Congratulations. Fortunately, we are now past that planet and moving on. We do not know the location of this creature, but you guys could tell that it did not follow you out. And I could be wrong, because my brain sometimes chooses not to function. I believe the planet we were headed to was called Raad, or it might have been called something else.
No, it was
Raad.
Raad.
Okay, cool. Excellent.
I do remember that from my editing shenanigans.
Excellent. I wrote that down, but just wrote another note, and not the fact that it's a living planet where your guys' mission is currently located. But I wrote the mission down, because yeah, good stuff.
Nice.
You hope I really like you.
I like you too. Weird.
Yeah, I would hope so. You married him.
Yeah.
So weird.
So weird. We should get double married.
Okay.
Oh yeah, that's
Triple married.
I was joking. That's something you can do. Never mind.
You can do that, yes.
Yes, you indeed can.
Is that actually a thing you can do?
Oh yeah.
It's you re-vow.
Reaffirm your wedding vows.
Oh,
Yeah.
Yeah.
We get everyone together. I really love her. Like a lot.
Like a super ton.
Like a whole bunch. And
At
everyone's
least a little bit.
like, at least a little bit. Everyone's like, that it? Yeah, you can go.
That's it. We're done.
We're done here. What are you staring for? Give me my presents and leave.
Sounds about as long as my first wedding was. So.
Hell yeah. Where's my... Well, our first one was awesome. We had great music.
It was,
Good
but it was very
people.
tiny. It was very tiny.
Yeah, well, it was tiny. It was personal.
Small.
Yeah. The best
Does
fate
anyone have
friends.
real friends anymore?
Does my cat count?
I think that's a bit of a stretch.
Leave me alone to cry. It's fine.
Hugs cat tightly. Shut up.
Kiri, come here.
Here, hurry.
Kiri,
Reaffirm our great friendship.
reaffirm that I'm your favorite creature.
Exactly.
Nope, she doesn't want to do it.
I say yeah.
Wow.
Well, one of the worst moments is like, oh, I love my cat, right? Kira, you love me too. She just looks at you, just turns around, and walks away slowly. It's like,
Pretty much.
choice
Right.
I
time to.
understand.
Right now, she's sitting in front of the space heater, so she is not gonna move. I should have
Aha.
known
I mean, if you need the
that her
space
loyalties
heater,
lied where the warmth was.
if you were the warmth,
Become
I'll-
the warmth.
yeah.
I'll turn off
No,
the space heater.
no, human worth is never as good as space.
No, I
heating.
mean, you bring the space heater near
Wow.
you.
No,
Interesting. You sound like
Mandy
you have
all.
experience with that.
Yeah, Mandy always loved the floor vents more than us. You know
That's
that,
true.
Megan.
She did love the floor vents. Carrie doesn't sit on the floor vents. I think it's probably because she's too bony.
Yeah, she's probably too thin.
Would she float away?
Mandy just like covered up the
Might.
whole thing because she was so chunk.
Yeah, no. Carrie's like, Carrie's like 7 pounds.
She should cover it.
Yeah, she did. She
Yeah.
covered the whole thing.
So the thing was is that we always had to chase her off of it because she completely blocked the vent, which meant that we weren't getting heat in the room.
Yeah,
Oh my
we got no air when she sat on those.
That's actually really funny.
My dad, he had to build a cat guard
Yeah.
so she couldn't sit on it, but air could still get out.
I forgot about the cat guard.
You
right.
did?
Oh, that's so dumb.
It was four-sided and had these bars across the top.
Wow.
Whew. Yeah, that was a good memory. Thank you for sharing that. I
You're
got super,
welcome.
I got super emo about Mandy the other day, so
Aww.
this was a good pick me up.
Excellent. That is adorable.
Now Carrie's
Alrighty.
looking at me like she thinks we're making fun of her.
Or she's like,
I mean, we kind of
you're talking about me, right? How great I am, right?
She is staring
Of course,
at me. and
Carrie.
I'm a little nervous.
Might have heard one of us saying, oh, move the space heater. Don't touch that. Please and thank you.
Excuse me.
Excuse me. Anyway, back to our space game. So you all did indeed survive. The creature, to your knowledge, is not chasing you, and you guys are back in the wonderfully calm, vacuum of space. Headed toward the living planet Raad to finish up your bounty. Who remembers exactly precisely what we're doing? Or close?
I remember.
All right, Ryder, what are we doing?
For the mission?
Yes,
Or currently?
both.
Currently,
Yes.
I'm on the ship.
Uh-huh. Tell me more.
You guys were on Hamar.
No, I literally just listened to
Please,
what we were
Captain.
supposed to do on Raad, and I don't remember.
It's very simple, actually.
It's very simple.
Everyone's
Yes.
staring at Ryder, waiting.
It's so simple.
Meek is staring at Ryder. Bart is staring at Ryder.
We're
Bart?
supposed to get
Becomes Ryder.
something
Oh,
from
it's
bad
Bart the dog.
people and give it to an unknown person that doesn't want us to know who they are.
Accurate.
What that thing is, I don't remember. I know it's a weapon.
Oh, yeah.
That's essentially
Welcome.
that's essentially everything I told you. There is indeed a weapon being held by a quote unquote rebel group, however they wanted to call them, a bunch of ne'er-do-wells, and another group that wishes to remain nameless wants you guys to get it back for them. They did say indeed it's a super weapon, and they're hiding away somewhere that is, let's be honest, pretty damn foolish. Most people that come to Raad, the living planet, basically don't come back. I did say it's not like an ego situation,
Not
where it's like a giant
inhabitable.
talking head. It is a very unfun place to generally go. So I assume we take no pit stops and we go straight there?
Yeah.
See,
All right, most excellent.
I don't know why I said yeah. Like I'm the one in charge of the
It's
flight plan.
more of a vote. I think there are 4 of you on this ship.
It's a group vote.
Yeah, exactly. If
Alright.
We could have
if Meek-
something else to do. Just
Right.
abandon
All
the
in
mission. It's
favor to
fine.
say aye. Aye.
I want to know Bartholomew.
Yeah, that's a name,
Bartholomew?
isn't it? Bartholomew?
Bartholomew.
Yeah, Bart. I want to know his opinion of the
Bart.
mission.
His name should be Bartholomew.
Correct.
Oh my god.
Bartholomew.
It should be, but it's not because I already named him Bartholomew.
He is your dog, Aldris.
I call him
Yeah,
Bark
he's
instead.
your dog.
You can't
It-
just change a name. It's
I'm
not
not, it's
fair.
a nickname.
Is
It's
it his
a
Dogs
nickname?
aren't
It's
smart.
a
You call it
fun name.
Bark or Bart, it's not going to know the difference.
It could be his nickname.
Wow.
It's the
Could be a
same
smart
mouth
dog.
sounds.
I would say Bart could be very smart. Maybe Bart hears you guys discussing this and is like, "How dare you?"
I like that name better.
He's angry.
Bark,
Or maybe he loves the name. Yeah, how do you know?
Fine, he's Bartholomew now.
He could be giving us a side eye.
Chaos wins.
All right, a new boy is born.
I
He
want
feels
while
great.
we're writing to the Raad, I want to talk to Aldris.
Uh-huh.
Hello, Aldris. I'm your captain. I'm just kidding.
Hello,
Speaking.
Captain.
So, Aldris, question about your magic.
Uh-huh.
You know, we've been friends for a minute. I'm just curious, have you ever tried, like, I don't know, enchanting weapons to make them do special things?
Well, I mean, that's technically what the machine I made is for. It's for enchanting things to do specific stuff.
Ah.
It only works like once per machine use, but
So I had an idea that might come in handy on a mission if we ever
Uh-huh.
get split up. Could you somehow like put like a enchantment or like a symbol on my metal arm, like your own personal little symbol, and then if I ever activate it, you kind of like teleport to me or I teleport to you?
I mean, that's an idea. I can try it.
Because, like, you know, what if we get split up and then you're in danger? You know, I can just boop over to you. Or if I'm in danger and you're
Friendship
not near me,
bracelets.
you're over to me.
I feel like we would want that to be more of like a permanent thing, not a one-time use, but I mean,
Well, no, I know. It's like a permanent symbol on my arm.
I can work on that. Try to figure that one out.
We can call it bird travel.
Bird travel. Okay, sure.
Instead of time travel.
The name is just stupid enough.
Yes.
Anything else you guys want to discuss before we arrive at Raad?
Can I talk to Liam?
Yeah, you guys can do whatever you want.
I'm going to walk over to him and, like, kind of like lean against the. I'm assuming we're on the bridge.
That makes
But
sense.
hey, Liam.
He turns to look at you.
So, I was curious.
Yeah,
You want to see who's a better shot? You or me?
we could. What were you thinking?
We can go in the training room, you know, the VR room, and set up some targets and see who's the best.
Yeah, sure. We got time, don't we?
Are Aldous and Nara somewhere around?
I'm probably working on something.
I would have started working on that weird teleport rune thing that he wanted to try out.
Damn it.
Probably failing miserably at the minute.
Is one of the pets around?
Ghost.
I mean, there's a lot of pets.
All right, I'll say Ghost is hanging out with me in my lap. I'm gonna nudge
Me
Ghost.
too.
What?
What?
I'm gonna nudge Ghost. 10 lollipops that Liam wins long range.
Ghost doesn't try to respond to this. He just nuzzles closer.
We'll have 3 challenges: pistols, assault rifle, and then sniper rifle, long range.
So essentially, best out of 3.
Sure, yeah.
Yeah, that works for me. Why not? And the two of you essentially head to the firing range. Looking at all the weapons before him, he says, all right, well, what do we start with?
Pistols.
Pistols,
We're
sure.
gonna have 4 targets pop up. Whoever can shoot them the fastest wins first round.
Alrighty. He grabs the weapon and readies himself next to you. You guys each have your own set of targets. We'll go ahead and roll this one time. Just obviously roll your shoot. I'll go first. Okay. Excellent.
Azinga!
He'll use his Wingo Wingo to attempt to re-roll that.
His what now?
Is Wingo Wango.
Exactly.
I don't appreciate you trying to match me.
All right. And with that, you guys are able to down the targets at the exact same time. You both look at each other as you down the last target. Kind of like, I beat you, right? And you kind of are stuck in that moment of, shit, okay, guess not.
I give you like a side eye, kind of.
he smirks at you and says, all right, I'll choose the next one. And he reaches down and grabs the, not like a heavy laser machine gun, something more that he can wield. And this time, targets will basically be flung towards you guys. They can just like whiz overhead if you miss. And obviously, no points. So he prepares that. I'll go ahead and roll first this time. As they whiz toward him, he opens fire. Mr. Ryder does the same. Ooh. Probably not really being used to this style of weaponry. Liam is quickly outdone. We'll say they were basically timed.
Ooh, hot dang, and I blow on the end of the rifle.
All the targets finish passing both of you at approximately the same time. And you guys can look up and see the scoreboard up ahead. Ryder, you shot down 12, and he only got like 9-ish. The AI of the Kabuto responds and says, excellent shooting, Ryder, as expected.
Oh, you know me.
Well, that seems
Best
like
shot in the galaxy.
a little biased, but go on.
Not at all.
Oh.
Leaning over, Liam motion says, and with the final one, my specialty, it looks like. And he grabs the sniper. With this one, there will basically be targets that are progressively further and further. Gravity, wind, and all types of wonderful environmental hazards will be present. Essentially, you just need to hit every target at the appropriate time, and he prepares as he sets his eyes and his sight down the lane. And he kind of looks to you and says, you ready?
Always.
And with a quick like, boop, 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 it begins as the targets pop up and pop up and pop up. Being very much used to this, Liam opens fire. And compared to Ryder does... Want to add some beef to that?
I would, but we're going on a mission. It's not going to reset. Wait, are we still going, or is this the last shot?
This is it. Best of 3. So this is the last one. As a reminder to you guys, you get back your fate points obviously at the end of the session, but you also get them back when you invoke aspects in a negative way. So if Nara were needed in combat, but something were to pop up that she's like, oh, I need to touch this, I would give her a fate point for that.
I haven't already done that.
Precisely, yeah.
I invoked that once.
Precisely. So anything
I
to
mean-
negatively impact you, such as walking into a bar, not wanting to be seen, and I say, Georgiana, because you're loud and proud, your instincts state that while you don't, the current directive is to not be seen, you just can't help it. So,
Ooh, Ryder, look at that hot chick over there.
yeah, and that would basically just ruin your guys' stealth effectively. But you get a fate point for that. So that's essentially how they're used and how they're gained, which is why you guys are more than welcome
I'll let
to...
this one slide.
Sure.
We'll be 1-1
Yeah.
and tied.
This is his specialty after all. You guys both do quite well, though, as you did set the Kabuto to make sure this was very difficult. Knowing Ryder, he wouldn't want an easy win.
After we get done, I'm gonna like stand in front of him, like, you know what? Kind of like close to him, staring at him, give him like a dog look, like dogging him. You're not half bad. And I like put my hand out to shake his hand.
Smirks and shakes her hand and says, well, you wouldn't keep me on the ship otherwise, would you?
No.
I got to earn my keep.
Earns his keep, all right.
Of course.
Excuse me?
I hate it here.
Me too, buddy.
All right, and then you guys head off as Georgiana, you're at the front,
Yeah, so
situating with Ghost.
this headache isn't interfering with my driving capabilities, is it?
Correct. So narratively, basically how I might be able to invoke your consequences to also give you a fate point. I could be wrong, though, because you do indeed have a migraine. Now, this has... Technically, it'd be upgraded to a dull migraine.
I think you mean downgraded?
Yes. But yes, essentially, your head still hurts, Georgiana, and this will go away in time. And you can roleplay it however you wish, of course, just like any other injuries or things you guys have. It shouldn't negatively impact your stats or anything. I can say mechanically what this does. If an enemy has so enemies have fate points just like you guys do, they're like scene fate points, effectively. So let's say, for example, I'm just trying to hit Ryder, but he has no debuffs on him. No one has set up an advantage on him. I have to either set up an advantage on Ryder or I have to just attack him raw, which is not smart. For you, Georgiana, I can use a fate point to give myself +2 or reroll when I attack you because you have a dull migraine, but not for free. It costs me a point. That obviously applies to enemies as well. So if you guys hit someone and break their arm, the person who broke their arm can invoke it for free, but everybody else can spend a fate point to just invoke it. If you don't have any of your, aspects that make sense. So let's say Aldrich is trying to race somebody on foot. I don't think any of his aspects make any sense to invoke a foot race. So he would have to just either use something in his surroundings or make something to help him first and then roll. To my knowledge, there are no debuffs in Fate, basically. So you'll never have Nara, you have a -2 to all of your blank rolls going forward. That's not how that works, basically. You guys can have debuffs in... Yeah, exactly. So... you guys can have... You can have consequences, of course, but they're not something that reduce your rolls. So you're more than welcome to roleplay as you're driving. You can crash the ship if you want. I will not say no to that. If you do, I will give you a fate point. So if you choose to do weird shit, yeah, go for it. Basically, the more you roleplay your character, or if you intentionally do bad things that could potentially hurt, without being a dick, of course, potentially hurt the party, preferably yourself and under others. But yeah, I'll definitely give you fate points for that if you want to roleplay into it. I'll never force it though. We go ahead and move forward to Raad. After Liam and Ryder have finished their quick little shootout, Aldris, we can say during this downtime, if you want to roll me, you're basically creating something, right?
Yeah, it's like a teleport sigil that links me to whoever has it.
Sure. Is it more technological or more magical, or mix?
More magical. It's just maybe on a piece of metal.
I like that. Go ahead and roll your magic stat then. We'll say you work on that for a little while and get closer and closer to essentially finishing out this tech. Your intention, is it specifically between you and Ryder?
Me and whoever is using it, but I'm assuming Ryder.
It's the bros teleporting system, all right?
What if Bartholomew wants to use it?
Bartholomew, no.
Yay! I love it when a good joke keeps going.
This is who he be now.
Hit him.
It's the boy. Flying forward, though, Georgiana, with little ghost in your lap, your sensors make you aware. It is just up ahead, and you'll be there momentarily.
I'll radio everyone that we're arriving.
And as you get closer and closer, as expected, you receive all the usual types of warnings, but because the Capito is entirely aware of the bounty you all are currently on, none of these are necessarily outside the parameters of weird or worrying. Mainly because you, Georgiana, you're a very good pilot, so you weave your way in and out without needing to worry about too much. Moving forward, though, you think you see the planet, but it feels a little hazy just up ahead. And before you have a chance to react, primarily because you're not entirely sure what this is, your ship flies through what seems to be some sort of thick liquid floating in space, and it spatters the front window of the Kabuto.
Gigi,
Yes,
what am I looking at?
Kabuto, run a scan.
The Kabuto begins to scan what is currently on it, and it's basically being pushed off the exterior shields of the Kabuto. It's not directly on the front glass, fortunately. And after a moment, it responds, scans currently inconclusive, but substance seems to be organic.
Did you just say that fog is organic?
Can you take a sample?
You fly further ahead and smack into more of it. Now that you can kind of see it a little bit easier, it almost blends in too well in space. The Kabuto is able to collect 1 or 2 samples of this wonderfully viscous juice.
Juice?
Yes, indeed. And just up ahead, you see Raad. It begins to scan whatever this liquid is.
So was that just like surrounding Raad?
It was floating off in space. And now that you're sort of looking around you and the Kabuto has returned with its scan, you can see that the stuff is basically trailing behind Raad. And if what you see
Raad is moving?
is to be true, the planet must be moving forward very, very slowly.
Am I able to avoid the brunt of it?
Yes, now that you've closed in and you can kind of see what it is on a backdrop, it was almost kind of blending into the space. And it wasn't really being picked up, primarily because the Kabuto wasn't looking for a liquid. Basically,
Are you trying to say
Raad is leaking.
No, I was gonna say, are you trying to say Raad is leaving a snail trail?
Yes, effectively, but in space. And you can very clearly see, actually, that there are various rather massive, they would normally probably resemble volcanoes. But now that you guys are closer to Raad, they look closer to be giant pores that are seeping some sort of strange liquid.
Does it have acne?
Potentially, and some of
I
it
am officially weirded out.
bounced off your ship. When I say Raad
it
is a
a
living
creature?
planet, it looks almost to be entirely made of organic material, fleshy organic material.
I didn't believe you when you said it was organic.
So it's definitely more creature than planet.
That might be the case. It is indeed quite large, though. Not as large as our Earth, but still very much planet-sized.
Kabuto, can you run a scan on this planet?
Of course, from this distance, it might be relatively difficult.
You could call
I
it.
mean, I'm getting closer anyway, so
What were we saying, Nara?
Call it a scan it.
Oh my god.
scan it.
All right,
Run-
can you, if you can pick up like where the weapon is on the planet?
Do we know what the weapon is made of?
No, it explicitly does not tell you. You are given the shape only. I will say it stands out so much, it is borderline impossible to miss it.
But we're trying to find it though.
Yes, so
Yeah.
along with the
I-
bounty you were given, essentially a shape sequence. So once you are close enough, it'll basically let you know, but it will not tell you what it's made of. Obviously, these are secrets that they're trying to keep under lock and key. So all they've given you is functionally a pretty useful scanner that lets you know when you're close to it.
Can I scan anything for the shape beyond that, or does it pretty much have to be through that scanner?
You very much can if you're looking for something on this planet, but whatever it's made of is unfortunately running interference on you. Not active interference. There's just too much chaos. You do sense and see, as you're kind of doing quick basic scans, I would say along with the Kabuto, and it comes back with effectively what you guys can indeed see. It is effectively a giant clump of space flesh that is just slowly, and I really mean slowly, floating through
That's really
space.
disgusting. It sounds
Indeed.
kind of like a growth and not a creature.
Your scan also reveals chunks of metal strewn throughout the planet. These seem to be long abandoned ships, from what you can tell, Nara.
Would it be inaccurate to suggest that maybe these are ships that have also been searching for the weapon?
That could be accurate.
Well, we were told that the people were guarding it, right?
You were told that a group of ne'er-do-wells stole it from another unnamed group, and are
We don't
currently
know what kind of people stole it, correct?
correct.
Hey, Kabuto,
Yes, Ryder.
can you put us in stealth mode, please?
Of course.
Kabuto, can you get an analysis on the ships to figure out what destroyed them?
You hear the bleeping and blooping of scanning. How close do you wish to get, Georgiana?
I mean, you're stealthed. I'll get close enough for you to get a good scan.
Do these ships look like they've been in a battle or like they've just been left?
On this face of the planet, the closer you look, the Kabuto is scanning and sending images back to you guys. It almost looks as if the ship crashed into the planet and the flesh began to grow around what remained of the ship. So there's like hunks and chunks of metal, bent and gnarled, sort of sticking out of the crust of this planet, if you will.
So would you say we're getting pretty close to, I guess, land on this planet?
Currently, the Kabuto is indeed stealthed, so yes. Georgiana, go ahead and roll me pilot. This will basically be along with your stealth. You want to beat a 3.
Gigi, do you see that?
Was the Kabuto able to say what made the ships crash?
Now that you've gotten closer, yes. You can tell multiple things, Georgiana, now that you've gotten closer. You believe nothing has seen you, fortunately. but from what you can tell, it looks as if some might have crashed naturally. Maybe they were floating around the planet and something horrible happened, whether in a fight with someone else, or if they just inexplicably crash. You're not entirely sure. There is indeed some gunfire to be seen on the exterior, but others looked as if they were crushed, pulled in, attacked by something sharper, but there's no burn marks or melted metal, just tears.
Kabuto, I want you on high alert.
Of course, as per usual.
Guys, I feel like there might be possibly some type of creature on this planet.
Either that or the planet is one whole giant creature.
Well, that too. Could be attacking with some type of sharp tentacles or arms or something.
In fact, if the planet's a creature, there could be little, parasite creatures.
All right, well, we just need to find where they're storing the weapon, and grab it and get out before anything else bad happens.
Any luck, Nara?
About the weapon?
Yee.
Nara, you've actually discovered that there's not very much known about Raad. Many of them are rumors. As people have mentioned before, they call it the living planet. That could mean quite literally anything. You've heard some very strange rumors. Some of them you see are true, and many are not true. There is no giant face. It does not talk. It doesn't have wings nor legs. It's basically just a giant, well, it is a planet, so it is a gargantuan. But, Nara, you do see some 100,000 miles or so over to the right, where you guys are currently positioned. You actually notice maybe an emergency landing? Maybe a drilling? Something of that nature. It's difficult to tell, but it does come up for you, at least, as an anomaly. A recent one at that.
Can I zoom in? Flick it open a little bit?
Yeah. As you look closer, I would assume you tell Gigi to fly closer that way in order to get a better look, of course. And maybe you guys pull back from the planet a bit. There is a strange, dark, purplish fog sort of around the planet. It's interspersed. They're not really clouds necessarily. It definitely feels more like a fog. And as you begin to move around, you guys do see some life, some things wriggling just under the surface. There are various cave-like structures, and there's some skittering. Definitely some movement.
Cave or blood vessels?
Sure.
Same thing. It's fine.
And as you move over to this location that Nara has deemed worthy, you're actually able to see closer now, Nara. And it looks as if this trauma to the crust was indeed caused recently. It looks as if it was shot.
Oh.
And you can tell this is pretty standard cannon fire, but nothing too weird.
Does it look like a wound?
It does. You guys would need to physically get a bit closer. It definitely doesn't look like standard crust, not dirt.
I feel like we're probably really far off from what this is, and yet I just want it to be a ball of flesh. Just hanging out in the middle of space. Because I think it'd be funny and also disgusting. Can we get a little closer? I want to look at it.
Roll me pilot again, Georgiana. Excellent. So consistent you are.
Sexy.
Moving closer, past the fog. You think you might have alerted the locals, if you will, but no. Something odd, long, and honestly just very difficult to describe. It's not necessarily flying, more so than it's just sort of floating and meandering about through the sky. It's a small pack of them, maybe 4 or 5, and they sort of just fly by and scoot on by the Kabuto. But pay you no mind. They stop for maybe a moment, Georgiana, but being the professional you are, you know when to go and when to stop. Now that you've all gotten closer, you can all see Nara, you and the Kabuto's scans do indeed confirm that this was recent. I would say within the past week or so, at most the past week.
That's
it looks
really recent.
It is. It's incredibly recent, and it actually lines up very well with the bounty you've all been given. It looks very much as if they were potentially running from something. It looks very much panicked, almost like they used too much ordnance to get into whatever this is. But it looks as if it opened up into a cave into the rest of this planet, into the rest of Raad. And the exterior, the rim of this opening now, does indeed look like burnt and torn flesh. But looking closer, Nara, as you wanted to, you can see that it's starting to sort of bubble back up, and sort of fix itself, it almost looks like.
Bubble back up?
Yeah.
Like it's regrowing.
It almost looks like it's regrowing.
I don't want to go inside this planet. Let's just say that right now.
Well, I mean, we have to get the weapons, so.
You can leave me out of it. In fact,
How close are we?
How close do you want to be, Georgiana?
I mean, I can get close enough to drop everyone off and play eyes and bodyguard, but I don't want to go inside this planet.
Is this more of a mech mission or foot mission?
You can go on either, but the opening is large enough for the Kabuto and your mechs to easily fit inside.
It's large enough for the Kabuto?
Yes, the hole looks as if a ship flew in.
Oh.
All right. I say we park the
That's a little
Kabuto out here and head
I
out
don't think
in our
we
mechs.
should. When
You don't
you
think we
say
should what?
park the Kabuto, you don't mean like on the planet.
No, I mean like hovering.
Okay, because I don't think the Kabuto should touch this weird fleshy planet.
I don't think so either.
Not my baby.
All right,
Alright, we need
if I can
to-
go in
we
my
need
mecha,
to-
I'll join, but that's it.
All right, Nara, keep your scans up to alert us. Move
Old
out.
of you to think I ever have my scans turned off.
Just
But
scanning
yes.
all the time.
All the time. Constant influx of data that I then use for
Or
a
store
secret
somewhere.
purpose. Perhaps one day you
I'm
will
gonna
learn.
start heading to the mech bay and start hopping in my mech.
All your mechs are indeed set and ready to go.
I want to choose a spot that's close to the planet, but also kind of far away, and I want to make sure the Kabuto is on emergency evasive maneuvers.
The Kabuto will prioritize stealth and evasion. And to be clear, of course, it is indeed very, very extraordinarily good at this. Your mechs are suited with a very light stealthing unit, but nowhere near as effective as the Kabuto. You guys can activate it, but it can't, of course, stay active for too long.
Okay.
And we move forward.
All right, is everyone launching off?
Yeah. I
Sure.
crawl off in my little creature. I don't crawl off. That's not what it's about. I'm just saying.
I do want Liam to stay behind to act as a set of eyes in case we need to like skedaddle real quick.
Okay, you can very much do that. Bark and Ghost will stay behind as well, of course.
No, I'm taking Ghost.
You're taking Ghost.
Ghost now.
He will be my emergency emotional support cat.
Ghost is prepared. He's very scared. He doesn't understand exactly why you're bringing him onto a scary flesh planet, but he loves you, Georgiana, and he trusts you.
Ghost, just tell me if you sense anything weird.
Ghost cannot speak, so he doesn't nuzzles against you.
I
Just
trust
can't
Ghost.
meow.
He can't speak, and he doesn't choose to meow currently.
Oh my god.
He's-
what a
he's-
weird little cat.
I mean, is it really?
Non-cat.
Is it really a cat?
Yeah,
Not
it's,
really.
Ball of fur.
it's
Yeah.
possible I messed up his vocal cords when I imagined him.
He has meowed in the past. He might be on cooldown currently.
Needs to recharge.
Exactly.
He's always on cooldown.
That's a lot of cats, honestly. Charging up their energies. All right, so all four of you launch off for Raad.
Yes.
Alrighty. Ghost has no second form. Wah, wah.
How dare.
It's okay.
Give him an armored fur form.
It's all right. I put Ghost in the
In the shell.
in the window so he can view.
Did you put Ghost in the shell?
Yeah.
Is he safe in the shell?
I hate that.
Nerd.
Love
And he
it.
talks about anime. Gosh, geez.
Anime's for
But what
nerds.
But what if Ghost really was that character? In
Oh
this
my.
weird cat
The major?
body?
Oh no!
Yeah.
I'd say I have a very useful ally then, if that's the case.
I say she'll kick the shit
No,
out of anyone
I
that gets
like
close
the
to
way
her.
you think.
Exactly.
just she needs legs first. Oh god, watch Ghost just like pop out two giant anime legs, just kick the shit out of people, and then just like pull back in.
Oh my god, that's not what I imagined.
I mean, you didn't get what you managed, so maybe that's exactly what you need.
Ghost is mutating.
Ghost is evolving. Dun 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 dun. Anyway, the four of you launch off for Raad. Almost instantly, the local wildlife seems to draw its attention to you. Initially not aggressive, but you guys don't even need to physically see this. Your alarms go off. You do physically see, but you are not by no means surrounded. They're a good click or two away. I forget exactly how far that is, but sounds cool. You're being watched, and you know you're being watched by various creatures of this planet. then about a click or two away before you guys land on the planet proper. You do know the Kabuto is safe behind. What do y'all do?
Captain, take the
Happy
lead.
crawling.
Onwards.
I'm not going in there first.
Alrighty, so you guys are going straight for the hole?
Yeah.
Wouldn't you?
Always. That is the prime directive. The four of you pursue downward and inward. As you do, you get the feeling that you are, once again, being watched. They don't strike out. They don't really seem to move initially, but they have their eyes on you. Almost in unison, they turn.
So they're like creatures?
Getting
Yes.
creeped out.
As you descend past through this opening, I'll state again, there is more than enough room to go into this cavern, if you will. The four of you can go in at the same time. It is that wide. A ship, probably maybe a little larger, around the same size as the Kabuto, maybe a bit wider, blew its way through here. Looking downward, it seems that it continues this ravine. But looking around, it looks more natural. Almost as if the hole that was burst open was like a film or just a layer protecting this little cavern. All of your mech's lights activate, and you guys can see around you. You're surrounded by a very sorely deep red, fleshy wall. Bumpy and slick, with the same looking substance that you ran into prior. Looking downward, you see no creatures. You see various tears in the walls, actually. Almost as if someone came down here in a rush, in a hurry, and bumped into them.
What are our sensors reading?
Are you scanning for anything in particular?
You bet your ass I am. In general.
Well, in general, you were surrounded by life. Completely surrounded by organic
we know
materials.
There's bandits or some type of crew that got the weapon here, but this planet also has these creature things.
Indeed.
Actually, yeah. Are the bandits on the planet?
You would assume so, yes.
Did the Kabuto sense them or Nara?
It was unable to sense them at the distance. As I mentioned, something
Up my
was
stands?
interfering. Now that you're closer, though, much closer, there is definitely still some interference, primarily because there is movement everywhere. When you scan for movement specifically, organics, of course, you are surrounded by it. Metals, inorganics, once again, surrounded, but it's interspersed. It's like slivers you almost find. Movement everywhere. The walls seem to be pulsating and gyrating slightly.
I hate you so much.
Yes, it is.
Sounds disgusting. Are we gonna find an eyeball somewhere?
Hopefully.
Oh my god.
I would
please
like
no.
that.
Can I make
would.
a
Now we're
giant
gonna
fake
find
eyeball on one of the walls?
Make a
it.
giant.
I want to make a giant magic fake eyeball just come out of one of the walls.
What kind? A human eye or like an animal looking eye?
Human eye.
No, like the evil eye.
Do you tell them or you just do it?
No, I'm just doing it.
Okay. But just up ahead, you sense very particular movement. The flesh sort of like shakes and shakes. And then you see line form, and it begins to slowly peel open. And the sound it makes echoes throughout the halls. And then this slit slowly opens. And you're greeted with a very large human eye that is looking directly up at you, Nara.
Ice cream.
Ooh, I take pictures
Nice.
and I start scanning it. I'm like, God, this is incredible. This is exactly what I wanted.
The eye in particular comes up a different wavelength, if you will, than everything else. It definitely does not belong here. Slightly different, if you will.
Does this let's say the energy signature? Is it a little familiar?
It's somewhat familiar, yes. Can't place it, but somewhat familiar.
I can't place it. Are you
No, I'm
sure? Can
I'm
I make
joking.
a
Sarcasm.
Can I
Sarcasm, yeah.
guesstimate?
You can, yeah.
I spin my whole mech around to look at Aldris.
What are you doing, Aldris?
I just keep going like nothing's happening. Actually,
What?
normal.
I'll
We'll
just-
never know.
Did you do that?
I don't know what you're talking about.
Can I come up behind him and shove his mech?
Oh, like
Into the eyeball. Throw him into the eyeball.
That's a good idea. I'll do that.
you're gonna push him toward the eyeball?
Yes.
Okay, sure. Both of you roll
Gonna
pilot.
push me towards my own eyeball.
All right. Maybe a little shaken, Georgiana. You get close to Aldris, but not really able to direct him anywhere in particular. And you more so kind of just give him a little like playful shove on the bird shoulder.
That works. That was so gross. Don't ever do that again.
Does it
I
make a
mean,
gross
it's
little
funny.
fleshy sound?
The eye blinks and it makes a very wet, squelching sound.
I want to make another one directly in front of her mech's head, like wherever the cockpit is of her mech.
Who, Georgiana or me?
Georgiana.
As you're getting grossed out, Georgiana, and
into
pushing
it.
away from Aldris, just up ahead, Ryder and Nara, you see this. You guys are kind of cockeyed now. You notice that this channel sort of moves almost in a very wavy pattern. It doesn't go straight down, and it begins to arc off in various directions that you guys can notice. And like I said, it's very large. There's plenty of room for you guys to move about here. And just up ahead, the ceiling sort of slits out again, and this long, tentacled, just fleshy rod descends down behind Georgiana's mech, of course. And at the end is a bulbous circle that kind of like, and then turns.
Holder.
Yeah, and turns, and
because I'm in front of her, right?
you are leading the pack, yeah. So Georgiana, you sort of push Aldris on the shoulder, and then as you turn to continue forward, you see this giant fleshy ball in front of you that opens quickly, and you are greeted with just eyeball.
Yeah. Swing out with a sword.
You just completely
Georgiana, wait.
question to Aldris: are these illusions or are they real?
I didn't know I could make real eyeballs.
If they're real, they'd be made of something magically synthetic, and they'd fall apart very easily.
We'll make specifically the ones that are right in front of Georgiana real.
Okay.
Wow.
You slash out at Georgiana, but as you kind of sever through it, the lower half that falls away from the stalk up above just turns into like gray sludge and just like sloshes and just falls down. Where it lands, nobody knows.
You're gonna pay for this, Aldris. I swear.
The stalk then kind of dries up as well and just turns this mush and then kind of pushes itself back into the wall.
Disgusting. Do my scans show anything else?
The more you scan Nara, the more you're sort of noticing a complication, we'll say. There's almost too much of what you're looking for, and it's hard to isolate what's important and what isn't. When you scan for particulars, you can always tell me what you're looking for, like exactly. But trying to split the organics between inorganics, it's just kind of all the same almost, and it's difficult to, and because everything's moving, it's difficult to pinpoint what precisely matters and what precisely doesn't. You do have the signature of this engine-looking weapon. It is indeed up ahead. Now that you've gotten closer, this is the one signature that stands out from everything else around.
Can I get closer to it?
Of course, yeah. You guys can all move together. Are we continuing deeper?
Yeah. I think now I've been driven mad by the mystery.
All right, and as you all move forward, what if I normally had you roll for scanning, Nara?
I think it was burglary.
burglary.
I think it was burglary. Yeah, fortunately, those are the same.
Roll burglary or not. But wow, that sentence was messed up.
Fortunately, you rolled over it, and half the sound was the dice rolling, half the sound was you slurring over the word burglary a lot. So
How
excellent.
embarrassing that I brought attention to it.
Exactly. I mean, that's how we do, though. Let's be honest.
Yes.
That is indeed how we function.
If I didn't bring attention to it, I definitely would have been thinking about how embarrassing it was for the next, several days.
Oh, of course. And just having shower thoughts of like, how could I have done this better?
Yes.
You know me so well. Alrighty. Just up ahead, Nara, before you guys move too much deeper in, you sort of hear a pulse, like a and the walls around you sort of shake and begin to gyrate. The slime sort of slopping off and falling and then hitting something potentially unseen. You're not entirely sure, so you readjust your scanner to whatever this slime might have struck. And looking down, as you guys are indeed descending, just up ahead, you see the slime sort of forming around something long and oddly shaped that has tendrils and what look to maybe be some sort of maybe non-functional wings ordained on its back. It's not using them, and it looks like it's like latched onto the side of the wall, but it must have very long legs because it's pushed a good like 10, 20 feet away from said wall. And as you focus on this, up ahead, Nara, you sense 5 signatures that are foreign to the wall and foreign to everything else. Not metal, definitely organic.
Can I tell anything more about them?
They're moving toward you.
All right, I let everybody know that something's on its way. Organic, not part of the planet. Could be a threat.
All right, crew, activate stealth mode.
Sure. Okay. Everybody roll stealth.
I'm not good at
Holy
stealth.
crap.
Yeah, I don't think I'm good at stealth
Disappear
either.
into the wall.
Yeah, seriously. Nara's not here nearby.
Oh,
She
yeah, I'm
just
real bad at
goes.
stealth.
Oh, that's so sad.
Let's go.
Alrighty.
Hey, I'm loud and proud. Technically, my stealth should probably be a negative.
Potentially. You want to lean into that?
Oh, God.
Lean into it.
Yes.
All right,
Loud and
excellent.
proud.
As you attempt to stealth, Nara, you seemingly disappear. Ryder, it takes you an extra second to acclimate to your surroundings. Unfortunately, both Aldris and Georgiana are unable to really activate it in time, I would say. Or if you do, maybe your movements are too easily read. Georgiana specifically, the thought of stealthing is just absolutely foreign to you and kind of gross, to be entirely honest.
Just a little, yes.
Borderline offensive, if you will. So I'll go and give you a fate point for that. And because of that, very quickly, all of your sensors go off. And you see, I'll just simplify it with this, you see these 5 dots, effectively. You cannot physically currently see them. Jump and instantly leap towards you. 3 of them fling their way towards Georgiana, and 1 goes to Aldris, the other is searching for the other 2 folk that just stealthed. And suddenly, the enemy's upon you.
Can we tell what it is?
They are currently stealthed.
Oh, so we can't see them either.
Nope. These things were waiting, and it is very dark down here. The only reason you can see the initial one was because Nara was able to scan it. Some goo fell on it, and you could see its outline. Your sensors technically tell you where all 5 are, but you might lose them if you don't act quickly.
I'm going to help Gigi because they're going towards her. So
All right, excellent.
from behind.
Sure.
Slash.
All right, excellent. You dash towards the ones that are headed toward Georgiana. Go ahead and roll me fight.
Gigi, on your 6.
So it's behind me?
I'm assuming you're trying to turn around, but you're not really good at stealth, so you're just kind of like,
Yeah, I guess.
With that exact noise.
Nice.
All right.
guys, they're stealth. We need to act fast and put something on them so we can see them.
Can I craft something actually?
You very much can. So I can quickly reiterate what that means for you. Firstly, though, Ryder, mechanically, if you tie someone when you fight, you do no damage, but you do gain a boost, meaning you can do it again later. And you get a free +2. So that is 1 upside and positive. Crafting for you, Nara, basically works the way we kind of discussed your mech and the way you function. Is you're not necessarily crafting, like you are crafting, but you have like nanobots and like machines and such to sort of help you buff the team, debuff the enemy, things of that nature. So whatever you're doing and making just happens really quick. So what were you planning on?
I would actually like to cover them in some kind of like dust.
Ooh, I like that.
Since I can scan them, right? Like I know where they are.
Yeah.
I can see their signatures.
Yeah, you found them first.
Once I realize that they're not visible to the other people, I would like to craft something really quick, like a dust bomb or something. Black soot.
Go ahead and roll your
We're not
craft.
black soot because it's dark down here.
I'm working what I can. Let's go bright pink.
Sure, bright pink.
No, let's
My
go.
favorite.
Wait, no.
Don't change your mind. Pink is
sequin
perfect.
bomb.
Ooh.
Wait, which color?
I said sequin.
Pink sequins.
Sure, sequence.
Sequins.
Sequence, exactly. All right, go ahead and roll that. You're technically targeting them all at once, but I won't have you split your roll. Well, I'm basically making them move as a unit. Hey, alrighty. Reminder.
Is this called your party bomb?
Crafty Helper. When you succeed the style
Yeah.
using crafts to create an advantage, you can add 3 free invokes.
3.
Mm-hmm.
Wow.
So they're covered in color. All right, so I'll add that to them. If it's in the middle like this, it's on the enemy, we'll say. All right, so let me know what that looks like. You hit all of them.
It looks quite amusing under the circumstances. They're
These-
glittering.
Yeah. Like glitter?
Yeah,
Oh, no.
everywhere.
Oh, God, that stuff does not come off.
Every
I love it.
is a little bit on top of the, the fleshy cave.
Excellent.
It'll never come out.
Oh, of course
And I
not.
like
Know what they
that.
are now that they're covered?
This disrupts their stealth, fortunately. They still a little difficult to determine exactly what they look like, but I would compare them most similarly to sort of a split between a mosquito and a praying mantis, except its general body is like covered in, I don't want to say boils, but like just nodules. But they are indeed exposed, and they are now going to charge at you, Georgiana. So you're going to have to roll to defend. I'm gonna roll this one time. So go ahead and roll pilot. As they charge at you, these creatures attempt to jump onto your mech and tear you apart. Fortunately, you are indeed fast enough, but the enemy charges you and sort of throws you off center for a moment. So they have a boost against you as off guard. And then they're going to actually strike against you, the rest of them. So go ahead and roll me pilot again.
Wow.
Nice. Okay, I'll definitely go ahead and use that boost. So this time, taking advantage of the situation, they actually are able to strike you lightly. Their bladed arms don't necessarily cut into... What did you name your ship, by the way, again? Do you remember?
It was a reference.
Yeah, it was a cute name to something. They don't.
Yeah.
They don't cut into you, but they do definitely throw you off balance. Trixie, yeah. Go ahead and take 2 shifts of damage, Georgiana.
Okay.
Alrighty, Aldris. You got one coming to you, one's kind of just floating around looking for... Well, was looking for Ryder and Nara. Now he has a better idea.
You know what? I want to start throwing eyeballs at some of them.
Sure.
We're being weird now. We're throwing magic eyeballs at things now.
If they're weird, just be weird back.
Yeah.
All right, which one specifically are you targeting?
Am I still hidden?
You are incredibly stealth, Nara. The one that is still looking around is probably going to go for Ryder.
Okay.
I'll try to hit the one in front of me and one of them attacking Georgiana.
Okay, sounds good. Go ahead and do that attack, and I'll roll separately for them.
Magic eyeballs.
Yeah, blast.
Unfortunate.
How convenient. They both rolled 3. All right, so of course you can use a fate point to re-roll that, and they do have the one free covered in color, which gives you a +2, or a re-roll. And then, of course, you can use your normal fate point to also do that, so totally up to you.
I will re-roll with the fate point and see how it goes.
Let's bring it up to a 5. All right, do you want to use that color?
I guess then I actually do damage to both of them.
Hell yeah, you do. All right, we'll use one of those for free. And that brings you up to a 7. So we got a 3 and a 3. And this was intended for damage?
Yeah.
All right, so you split that 4 and 3, I assume?
Yeah.
All right, excellent. You blast outward, Aldris. And the 4, the one you hit with a 1 shift of damage, is actually instantly destroyed. The other is thrown off guard. We'll say the one that was going for Georgiana. You choose. Which one would you prefer to destroy?
We'll destroy one going after Georgiana.
Okay, so now there's only 2 going after Georgiana, and we'll say the one that you fired at that was coming towards you was able to like dodge out of the way, and is still charging for you, but he hasn't struck just yet. Georgiana, your turn.
I would like to...
You got a boy blasted off you with a giant flying eye.
I'm doing an acid grenade.
Okay, who are you aiming for?
The nearest one. I can't miss, right? He's 3 feet in front of me.
Theoretically, you shouldn't miss. There are 2 in front of you, so do you want to hit them both? Just the one.
Can I hit both?
You can always AoE. Yep, you have to split your roll if you do.
I will split my roll.
All right, go for it. So basically, I roll a 2 and a 3, and you roll a 2, so you have to split that 2 between a 2 and a 3. But you also have the free covered in color invoke. So technically, you roll a 4.
I would like to invoke it.
Okay.
How do I split it again?
Basically, you have a total of 4 damage. One of them rolled a 2, one of them rolled a 3. So I unfortunately rolled a total of 5. So you could put all
one equals and one doesn't.
You could put all 4 on one and just none on the other if you want. Technically,
I will use the fate point.
Okay. Are you re-rolling or adding +2?
Adding +2.
Okay, so that brings you to a 6.
Yeah, 2 and 4. Yeah.
Okay, sounds good. And these are both ones that are on top of you.
Mm-hmm.
All right, you're gonna complete what is an acid grenade?
Yeah.
All right, one's gonna be completely destroyed. Go ahead and spell that out for me.
So the acid grenade goes splat,
Mm-hmm.
and then he just kind of dissolves.
All right, excellent. You sort of see the creature for just a moment as it just screams and its cries echo through the hall, and it just falls, just bounce off the strange fleshy rubbery walls. Charging towards Aldris now, go ahead and make me a pilot roll as the one creature dives down towards you to strike. You're easily able to avoid. Ryder, you too, my friend. Ooh, spicy. He fails miserably.
Can I counterattack him with my sword?
On your turn, yeah. Which you can now do. So if you want counterattack as an actual thing, you can technically add a stunt for that. I don't know how we balance it exactly, but you can have a stunt that basically says if you succeed with style on a defense, rather than just, so you defended, you succeeded with style. So you can ignore damage plus 1 boost. We can just add an extra boost to your momentum boost. And you got 2 there. Are you striking at the same one that attacked you?
Yeah.
Okay, so it's going to attempt to kind of reel back. Do you want to add the boost? These things look very squishy.
Yes.
This is with your sword?
Yeah.
All right, it's going down. Tell me how it does.
It jumps at me. I lunge backward with my boosters and then like swing my sword upwards and I cut it in half.
Excellent. Like its brethren, it falls and falls into the void. Since you guys are no longer technically surprised, there was one on Georgiana and one towards Aldris. All right, Gigi, what you got?
I'll do an acid grenade again.
Sure, why not? Go ahead and roll me some shoot. Oh my god. Oh my god.
My god.
Okay, well, you were, you want to use the rainbow?
Yeah.
All right, excellent. Isn't that nice that your friend just threw glitter everywhere? It's a legitimate strategy, I swear.
She's the best.
She is the best.
Perfect.
All
What
right.
can I say?
Initially, you thought you might have missed this, but we'll say you like bank the grenade off the wall and you hit it in the back, and the acid just like washes over this thing and just covers its wings and just squeezes, scratching out at you, Georgia, and just falls and falls and falls and falls and falls into the void. And then the last one, still charging towards Aldris, is going to attempt to attack you. Go and roll me some of that pilot.
No.
Oofy McGoofies. Do you wish to
Oh,
re-roll
right.
anything, good sir?
Yes.
Hey,
Yeah.
there you go. Not only do you not take damage, you succeeded and take extra no damage. The creature dives at you, and you're easily able to avoid it. I'll say, Aldris, you're up next.
I'm just gonna like turn my mech's wings into laser swords and just try to chop it in half.
Ooh, I like that. Oh my god. Oh my god. Absolutely obliterated.
That's what he gets.
You just turn this boy
Making me use a
into,
fate point,
into sliced cheese.
pretty much.
He's just gone. And once again, you see him kind of just tumble in pieces down this very dark and wet chasm. Nara, you notice that your sensors read blank. You guys seem to be safe now.
Nice. I give the all clear.
With that, you guys kind of notice you're in a rather large area. The caverns and the turns, there's maybe like 4 or 5 different ones. You notice that this is basically the first split, the first major split that you guys have run into. The others were far too small. Your mech could maybe fit if it squeezed, but it didn't look like a main channel. Now where you guys are, though, unfortunately, it looks like there are about 3 or so main channels. What do y'all do?
Hara, which way?
Yeah, I mean, is there a signature that we can follow?
There
Don't
does...
want to get lost in this weird live planet.
I mean, don't worry. I'm logging the tracks.
Hey.
I'm not gonna get
Does
lost.
one of our mechs have like sonar capabilities on it?
you all do. Yeah, I mean, basic sonar.
So can we do a sonar and see what comes back?
What are you looking for precisely? Because technically Nara is just spamming that the entire time.
Oh, all right. I mean,
Yeah.
I guess dead ends.
Oh, yeah, no. Nothing. These go on for an uncomfortably long amount of time, we'll say.
Excellent.
To the point where you get bored waiting for the results.
Let's try to look for clues of like their ships or whatever flying through here so we can kind of track them.
Yeah, they're like marks on the walls of recent passages.
As you guys begin to look about for these 3 different pathways, Nara, your scans are coming back slightly inconclusive until Ryder and Georgiana, you guys take a closer look. And you do notice that one of them looks a little more banged up than the others. All around you, you actually notice that there is probably another fight very similar to the one you guys just exited a moment ago. But one that was finished quicker, mainly because it didn't stay here. It moved. And it moved down the path to the very right. You notice various blasts into these pustules on the wall that are slowly regrowing. You see some burns. While difficult, it almost looks like the flesh is trying to expel the burned sections rather than growing around it. It's more so just pushing it off like a scab.
Ugh.
And now, as you move closer to this right entryway, the scanner comes back with more information than it has before. You're getting closer and closer to your mark.
I guess I'll let everybody know.
And you guys head down this right way. You travel for maybe 2 or 3 or so minutes. While the walls around you are getting a little more narrow, you still have more than enough room to move shoulder to shoulder. Just up ahead, you see what initially seems to be a dead end. But upon closer inspection and scans, you actually notice that your lights almost pierce through this wall. It seems to be like a semi-transparent membrane that just completely covers from the top to the bottom and to left to right.
I hate
We
you so
talking
much.
like mucus membrane or like
Yeah, it looks like it.
skin membrane or
It's not completely flat, so it doesn't look like a trampoline or anything.
Sword?
You can. It is a laser sword, correct?
Yes.
It burns and sizzles.
Ooh. I cut it.
As you go to cut it, you realize that this membrane is actually quite thick, and you have to put forth a pretty heavy amount of effort to get the blade out. You're able to kind of like cut through, but as you kind of get to the halfway point in your swing, you have to kind of like, and then you pull the rest of the blade out. The ensuing hole is like sizzling, and it's just sort of like an egg cooking almost, and it just kind of like pushes itself back together.
Well, good luck and Godspeed, y'all. I'm out of here. I'm just kidding. We should go forward.
So what if 2 of us cut it at the same time?
You can definitely try.
Ooh. What if I
Yes.
burned it?
How so? Like flamethrower, or what do you think?
Yeah. Flamethrower.
Tell me precisely how you would do this.
Actually, could I do a combo?
You guys can. There's 4 of you. Y'all can combo.
Well, I
Yeah.
with myself. Can I toss a can I toss a flammable sticky bomb on it and then use my flamethrower to like make it extra flammable?
Sure. Go and roll me shoot.
I'm going to throw one of my flammable sticky bombs so it goes splat and just spreads everywhere. And then I'm going to whip out my flamethrower and just go.
You burn this wall. You burn and burn and burn. And
The wall that I slashed at?
the wall that you slashed at, yeah. You discover that it is definitely thicker than you were anticipating. I want to say maybe around 200 or so feet thick, it looks.
Oh my God.
But your burning definitely had an effect on it. The wall is like sizzling, like it's like someone's like bubbling off as you're burning away at it, and it's like melting down. And you see that you've actually taken a pretty decent chunk, but you're having to like hard flame this section here, and it's working, but it's attempting to regrow around you. Almost not at the same speed. It's not growing back as fast, but you are burning.
I'm burning through my suckers. Ah!
Getting very the dungeon that we were in D&D with all the membranes vibes right now.
Excellent.
Yeah, I've been getting that vibe.
Jelly World.
I hate you so much.
Love you.
Love me some Jelly World.
Hell yeah, Jelly World. So are you holding the flame there, Georgiana, or?
For the moment.
Okay. Nara and Aldris, do you guys have any thoughts while she's doing this?
I mean,
I'm thinking about making more fake eyes.
yeah. I mean,
That's not helpful.
I mean, it helps my mood.
Oh my
It's
God.
funny. It makes me happy.
Okay.
I just don't really want to deal with the membrane at all.
I mean, find a different way out before I whip out the chainsaw.
I mean, I can like coat your chainsaw in magic lasers.
Ooh. All right, I'll swap to my chainsaw. I'm going to grab the extra thick lollipop, by the way, so that it's extra chunky.
It's really beefy.
Mm-hmm.
All right. When we say coat Aldris, exactly what do you mean?
Just like the laser stuff that I do on my mech's wings, just like on the chainsaw.
It's just like heat, basically. It's like laser heat.
Pretty much. I also want to put like an illusion on it to
Okay.
make it look like eyes.
I knew you were going to say that! No.
So I like to imagine it where it's like maybe indistinguishable shapes on her chainsaw, and then when she starts it up, then the vision becomes very clear that there's like
Yeah.
eyes. Yeah, so like a fan that like spins really, really quick, but has like a shape on
Yeah.
it, and then when the fan spins, you can see like a face. Basically that.
Yep.
Except eyes. I like that.
All right, in that case, once I see that, I'm going to scream, and I'm going to swing the chainsaw like a wild maniac trying to cut through.
All
Oh,
right.
Jesus.
As fast as possible.
While they're preparing this, Nara, are you watching? Are you assisting? What are you thinking?
I am watching, very interested.
Okay. Ryder, are you assisting in any way?
No, I'm letting them do the work.
Okay. Alrighty. With this interesting combo move, you just start cutting into the burned section of the wall, which, to be fair, is pushed in a decent amount. Like I said, it is regrowing slowly, but all the same, it is regrowing at a rapid and concerning rate. So concerning that, Georgiana, you just kind of unload on this flesh wall and begin to just cut and cut and cut through it. Knowing how thick this is, I'm going to say your chainsaw does indeed gain purchase, and you're able to cut into this wall because it's spinning so quickly. It's almost like pulling chunks of the wall out and like shooting them backwards behind you. And there's like chunks of the membrane, fleeing back towards Aldous, Nara, and Ryder as you guys are kind of watching her just cut into this wall. Being in the front line, Georgiana, you realize that you could very much get in the business, if you know what I mean. So what do you do?
I'm committed at this point.
You just going for it?
I'm just going for it.
All right. As you guys watch, Georgiana with her eyeball chainsaw just begins to cut into this wall, and you sort of see the membrane as she's just sort of madly just cuts in and in and in, just chainsaw up, down, every different fun angle. She's whipping it in circles and maybe spinning a bit. She slowly becomes engulfed by this wall. As she does, you guys lose sight for her for a moment, but Nara, she's still on your sensors. And after maybe a good 10, 15 seconds of cutting, Georgiana, you're on the other side, completely covered in this goop, but you're indeed on the other side.
I'm in! I did it!
Okay,
Wait.
but does it seal up behind you?
Wait, where are you guys?
It sealed up as she was going through it.
Nice.
Oh my god.
Where is everyone?
Oh my god, I
Did
can't
not
let her. I
alarm
can't let
you,
her
but you're
happen.
behind the membrane wall.
Why didn't you
Can
follow?
can I scan the chemical properties of the membrane?
What precisely are you looking for? To see what it's made of, or...
Yeah, I want to see what it's made of so that I can get something to break it down on a molecular level.
As you scan it, you actually find that it's almost maybe the exact same stuff that the Kabuto originally picked up. The liquid you guys splashed into, except this is a much more concentrated and thicker, more so like coagulated version of it. Having the information that you received before, there is a combination of a liquid that you could sort of spray out that would essentially burn through it. You do know that the wall is going to try to regenerate itself. So however you want to apply this, you can quickly basically craft up enough of this that you have on you, of course, that you can basically burn through the wall.
What do you see behind you?
Oh, yeah. What do I see?
Darkness and more of this cavern.
I will turn on my headlamps.
They're already on. They're a little covered in goop, though. So as you kind of wipe them free, your lamp sort of splashes to the left and splashes to the right. And just up ahead, you think you see sort of a shadowy figure like pull back and away from the turn up ahead. You're not sure if you actually saw it or it was just a trick of the light. Could have been a shadow.
You good back there?
I don't think I'm alone.
Alright,
Don't worry,
hey,
Nara's
Nara.
cooking up
Sorry,
some
I'm Nara.
mucus to be gone.
Hey, Gigi,
Yeah.
Nara has some mucinex.
back away. I've got some space mucinex. Back up.
I'm going to back up
Um,
a little bit.
Only
Girl,
a
get
little
to
bit.
one side of the tunnel or whatever.
I will do that.
All right. I turn to Aldris and Ryder. Like, you guys ready? We're not gonna
Yeah.
have a lot of time.
3, 2, 1.
So I spray it.
All right, as you spray it, the wall begins to burn very quickly, actually, very violently, to the point where your initial test, it burned the wall, and you got the usual like a shudder, sort of like when a horse like whips flies off of itself. It very much just like gyrates in annoyance initially. But now that you've sprayed it, Georgiana, the walls on your side gyrate, and you can hear sort of high-pitched wailing, but only on your side. And on your guys' side, Nara, Aldris, and Ryder, you hear a deeper, like, as the walls around you kind of begin to shake, and this massive membrane just begins to break down. And Nara, you know if you just keep spraying this shit, you have a path. As long as the three of you are close, you can push forward as you just keep spraying.
All right.
The wall's very unhappy.
Well, maybe it shouldn't have closed up behind Georgiana.
This is a good point.
Just a thought. Since it certainly seems to be somewhat sentient.
As you administer the space mucinex, the three of you are able to push through, and unfortunately covered in a strange mixture between goo that's just kind of fallen, the whole thing is becoming unstable, and goo that is just sort of in the process of burning away from Nara's wonderful concoction. But in almost no time, almost about the same amount of time as Georgiana, maybe takes a good 10 seconds longer, you guys arrive on the other side.
Liam.
Attempting to contact the Kabuto, you just get static. I don't think picking that up, but she squealed.
Oh, I
We heard a
heard
little
it.
bit of it.
Okay.
Oh, yeah.
She hit that-
Normally
she hit
it's
that
a little-
alien note.
A little high pitch. But...
Where microphones
The
are like,
alien note.
yeah, the microphone's like, that's not a person. We're going to go ahead and just block that out for you guys.
Turn that one off.
The computer said no. The AI, babe, they don't like you.
Yeah.
Okay, I like your weird noises.
Typical.
I like your weird noises, don't worry.
Aww.
I say as I go deaf. Alrighty, just up ahead, it seems less lively down here. But all the same, the path is clear up ahead. There's no more membrane walls.
Guess we gotta
Nice.
keep going.
I can't reach Liam, and I think I saw the thing over there.
Well, I turn on my high beams.
Alright. You turn your high beams and someone flips you off somewhere.
It's those annoying
The blue ones?
Blue ones.
Oh, God.
Oh God.
Yeah,
hate
they
you.
instantly fill me with rage.
Excellent.
But, in this case, I do want to try blinding whatever is down there.
Excellent. In this current position where you guys are, the flesh tunnel kind of turns to the left. Do you move up ahead to kind of see what's around the corner with this light?
Guys, these pirates sure did pick the weirdest place to hide a weapon.
I think you mean the dumbest place.
Oh, that too.
In fact, I wonder if they're
why
even
would you
still
want to hide
alive.
in, a scary dark cavern?
I mean, I wouldn't be here unless the pay was good, so I think it's actually a pretty good spot.
Both the best and the worst. Lines up properly.
When I see them, I'm going to give them a knuckle sandwich for making us go down this cavern.
And as you guys push on ahead, this blinding light you have, Nara, seemingly disturbs something? It's difficult to see what it is, indeed, because of how bright it is, but you hear this kind of high-pitched shrill as the wall to your guys' left kind of gyrates again. It almost looks like it opens, but quickly closes, almost as if something used it for transportation.
Do you think we happen to went the, I don't want to say wrong way, but the wrong way? Because I don't feel like they would have gone through the trouble of having to avoid all these weird creatures just to hide a weapon.
Don't tell us that now, Captain. We've already committed!
Well, maybe that's a good thing. Once we find them, they won't expect us to come this weird way.
Yes?
I don't know, just a thought. Pressing on.
All right. And as you guys press on, your questions are answered relatively quickly. Just up ahead, it looks as if there's an opening. And it's rather large. The first thing that you guys see is a ship. And this ship has been mostly torn to pieces. It's about the size of the Caputo. It's longer. A more traditional style ship, if you will. But it
You mean
is
a lamer style ship.
Yeah, nowhere near as cool. They're definitely not the main characters. It looks like a mixture between like a transport ship and some combat capabilities. You guys can see that there are cannons, or were cannons. They've been completely torn off, and it looks as if the booster on the back, the tri-booster, one of them looks as if something sharp just completely cut into it, and the other two look mostly fine, but they're covered in gunk.
Cool.
And this room is relatively large. When I say opens up, it opens up. And while not completely circular, there's waves and like hills and such. But you guys have moved into what seems to be like a small biome. You see little creatures kind of crawling about, some of them moving in and out of the ship. It doesn't look like it's been here a long time, but it's definitely no longer functioning. It's ruined.
So the ship looks like it's almost been abandoned?
Very much so, yes.
Does it look like a bandit ship?
You guys could definitely get closer and take a look at it.
Sure.
So as you guys look about, you can see that this definitely housed a handful of mechs, maybe about 10 or so, but they're all gone. There are 2 that look completely destroyed, but the other 8 are removed. Counting all the parts, you can see that an arm was removed from one of the ones that was still docked. The other one seemed like it attempted to leave, but was cut in half. The other 8 are not present. Nara, as you look around and kind of scan, you see 2 more of them are strewn about just beyond this crashed ship. Also burned, but not by like fire, more so dissolved. And the other, it looks like it was just cut to pieces by something very small and sharp over and over and over. The metal just split and torn off in gnarled directions.
Ooh, my God.
I don't like it here.
You don't like it? Let's go.
Like the like part of the ship was splintered out?
It looks the same way, yeah, definitely. And as you guys have gotten closer, Nara, the specific scanner meant for the weapon is basically just going nuts. It is just up ahead. Looking about, you can see various alcoves and cave-like structures. Almost some, I wouldn't normally use the term, but building-like shapes. They're like vaguely building-ish in the sense that they are domed, and some are kind of rectangly and going upward. You're not sure if these are built around other ships or they're just emulating what a building would possibly look like. There's no windows.
To the abandoned ship that we're in front of or whatever, can I fly to where the fuel tanks are?
Of course, what are you looking for?
Like, I want to put bombs on the fuel. Well, I want to see if there's any fuel left in them.
There is.
But I want to put like some detonation bombs just in case we have to like GTFO by like some crazy monsters that we can kind of use that as a like after we pass it, blow it up, and then that deters the monsters from attacking us.
Yeah, you can definitely do that.
To get out, just an escape plan.
Definitely.
I invoke Nara's need to know where the ship came from.
It's a real interesting ship.
It is indeed.
It's an interesting ship, y'all.
Is there like a captain's log?
Does it look like it has any power?
It definitely has no power.
She's scratching it.
I can fix that. I can fix that. I get closer.
I love you, Megan.
Okay.
I have a power bank. Just in case things, you never know.
When I go to near the fuel,
Battery life isn't what they used to be.
Fuel?
Nara, if you want to look for a captain's log or anything, you're kind of thinking it out of your mech. You don't have to do this, of course. It's entirely up to you.
I mean, no, I'll go for it.
Okay.
Does the make look unfamiliar to me?
No, definitely not. This is, I'd say, fairly standard. It's definitely been customized. Effectively looks like someone took a transport ship and then basically just added guns to it, effectively.
But the weird part is that it's just down here in the fleshy cavern.
Yes.
I do want to know why they're here in the fleshy cavern.
Go ahead and roll me stealth as you hop out of your mech to kind of jump into the ship and look around.
Dang. Actually, I'm going to use a fate point to read
Sure.
that.
You use the fate point that you gained to jump on out, so just go and roll it again.
All right.
All right, that's a little better.
Only a little.
Yeah, exactly. You are able to move about the ship like a ghost. If anyone knew you were here, they wouldn't be able to find you. Fortunately for you, it is torn open like a can of food, so it doesn't take you too long to determine the best way to get in and how to get basically to the front, where they're keeping all that juicy data. And knowing you, Nara, you don't really need to... It's not really hidden, the information that is. It's relatively easy for you to kind of crack your way into.
Get all of it.
Yeah, so if you want answers now, are you looking for anything in particular?
No, I just want to have it.
Okay.
For
You
the
just
sake of having it.
you just drink that milkshake then?
Yeah. I mean, I guess if there's anything that pops up about recent mission logs, I would take note of them and move on.
You have a transport log of something relatively large they don't wish to mention by name. They just call it the merchandise.
Any other mention of the merchandise? Not what it is, but who they're transporting it for or from?
They don't mention where they're transporting it to, but you can say the date of acquisition was the date that the weapon was stolen.
Okay.
You also notice that the merchandise has almost no information compared to everything else they've picked up. And everything else they picked up is basically more guns, just standard guns, both for infantry and for mechs and things of that variety. Whether they drop them off, they still have them, or they're like somewhere in the cargo. It says they probably still have them. You don't know if they're destroyed or they're just kind of farting about somewhere, but theoretically they should still be on the ship.
Well, I take everything I can get.
Excellent. So you have all that information. Obviously, taking the product would be heavy, so you're aware it's there. And as you guys begin to kind of look for it, Nara is very capable. She's doing her thing, and we can trust her, of course. So as the three of you move forward, you receive what seems to be a hail, but it dies instantly.
So I don't get that hail?
No, you don't.
Well, I don't
Nara?
Yeah, what do you want?
We just got a hail.
What?
Yeah, I just got a hail on my comms, but then it just died. Can you try to find that frequency?
Yeah, give me a second.
I'll let her access my machine to backtrack it.
Sure, that makes sense.
How long does it take me to get all the information from this?
Considering none of it was
You know.
encrypted, they, I'd say maybe rather foolishly, didn't really hide any of the information. They probably looks like they left in a hurry. And
Scoff.
yeah,
Say amateurs.
completely amateur hour at this point. Honestly, it's a little embarrassing, really.
How embarrassing for them.
But
Humiliating.
it takes you very little time. Aldous Rider and Georgiana are sort of moving about relatively slowly, kind of past the ship, moving forward. And in the time it takes them to kind of move around and take in all these surroundings I've described, you're able to get this information.
So, you guys want to figure out what that hail was first, or do you want to move ahead and see the weapon?
Both?
Honestly, I think we should just grab the weapon and leave.
Yeah.
All right, yeah, let's just onwards. I boost forward.
All right. During this conversation, before you're able to boost, you saw that you were hailed 2 more times, but they instantly just fizzled out. Nara, while you're kind of reverse checking this, you can see that it is indeed coming from their direction, but there's something interfering with it. You're not entirely sure what it is.
And is Nara capable of putting her ship on follow mode? Yeah, while
Okay.
she's in it.
Gotcha. Yes, very much so.
Oh, absolutely.
Yes, it's a simple
Maybe
autopilot for all you
creature
guys.
should be maybe I relate more to my mech than people.
I like that.
My little creature is practically sentient, so
We could definitely add bits to it. I'm down.
I'm gonna rewrite my history and make that my trouble.
Sure, I like it. And you guys just boosting ahead, Georgiana, Aldous, I assume you guys follow?
While I'm boosting, I'm spamming the answer button just in case they call me again.
Okay, flinging ahead forward and spamming the answer button, you just sort of hear like, who, how, is it? And then it just kind of clicks, and then you hear, hello.
Hello?
Oh,
Yeah, I'm here. What's up?
God, I'm sorry, this voice sounds familiar. Who is it?
Ryder?
An uncomfortably long pause. And you,
Have I been able to lock onto this at all? While this is happening?
yeah,
or-
you guys can actually tell that this signature is coming from one of the fleshy buildings up ahead. It is dome-ish shaped, but it kind of has like a spear of like flesh coming out of the top, and it's like it has like this strange like netted roofing over it with like these little danglies coming down. And you see there's some creatures kind of like hanging on them.
Who is this?
I was the captain of the hippocampus.
Ah, the hippocampus.
Yes, I assume you can see it. It's behind you or near you.
Peace, bird boy.
Destroyed now. You said did you bring others with you? You said your name was Ryder.
Indeed.
And you hear more whispering and such behind you.
Can you drag Seth back? He's in game 1.
Yes,
I
always lost
think he
bird
left
boy.
on purpose.
There we go.
You.
It came pre-killed.
Yeah, it came pre-deaded.
You hear more whispering behind you, then another voice kind of chimes in and says, Bounty Hunter Ryder?
Yes, the, best bounty hunter in the galaxy.
Are you here with your team?
Do I know you?
No, well, we know you. You're legendary.
Ooh.
Well, I'm glad my, conversation precedes me all the way out here.
I mean, of course, who hasn't heard of you? Ryder, Aldris, Nara, and Georgiana. I know you have others on your crew, but I mean, the 4 of you at the core, everyone's heard of you guys. I mean, on top of there being a bounty on your head that we would never take, of course. Are you here to rescue us, or why are you here?
Well, we were told there's a very large weapon here.
Oh, yes, it's a long story, but do you sort of see, and like looking up just ahead, as I mentioned, there are multiple of these odd flesh buildings. You see a rather dilapidated looking mech kind of come out, like appear in like one of the what would be windows. It's just more of like a hole cut out, and you see like a big metal arm kind of wave you guys down.
You mean the big metal arm waving at me?
Yes, that's where we're currently located. We mean you no harm.
Is the hippocampus the messed up ship back there?
Correct, that was my ship.
What happened to you guys?
It's a long story, but we took something. We were planning on selling it, or well, we were going to hide it here for a little while. No one ever comes to Raad for, well, relatively obvious reasons now. but something chased us down in here. We attempted to escape, but it just kept attacking us. Every time we tried turning around, it just got more and more violent.
Definitely some weird creatures down here
Yeah?
that we've taken care of.
Oh. Are we free to escape?
I don't know how many more there's down here, but I'm gonna fly closer to them.
Okay.
How
As you fly
many?
closer-
How many of you guys in your crew?
There's 7 of us, but we only have 5 machines left. They destroyed the others.
So
And
I'll make you a deal.
Yeah?
We rescue you. We get to keep the weapon.
Oh, take it. We don't want it. This thing has been horrible, horrible luck. I don't care what you guys do with it. It's not worth the effort. Just honestly, just take it. I mean,
Have you used it?
no, we don't know how. I mean, we
do
know
love
how, but
testing
it's-
some weapons.
it's. Do you know how to use it? Do you know what it is?
Nope. But when in Rome, they say.
It's not necessarily something you can just sort of use, though.
Why don't you just show us the weapon and we'll see if we can figure it out.
Kind of popping its head out, it looks about, and you guys do hear some skittering, and all the walls kind of at once like shudder. And there's a pause, and he like slowly motions for you guys to come on in.
I fly in. They're a celebrity. They know me.
And you guys all follow suit.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't want to. I hate these people. I hate this shit. I hate
I'm gonna
everything.
hail GG. Just GG. I'm be like, you hear that, GG? They know who I am.
They know who we all are.
Well, yeah. I just mean, we're getting more, famous. So,
Yup. It's cool.
Moving into this enclosed area, of course, you see the 5 mechs first that happily wave you guys down. And just beyond them, you see what seems to be the weapon. They didn't attempt to hide it at all, and it's as large as was mentioned, just sort of shoved off to the side. It isn't deep into this building. It should be relatively easy to move, but it is quite large. All of you together would be able to move it, of course, but like I said, it is pretty big.
Comparative to our mechs, how big is it to one of our mechs?
I'd say it's about as big as all 4 of you combined, but maybe a little
Like
larger.
standing like on top of each other?
If the 4 of you just kind of moved chest to chest and then just like expanded your mass by like double-ish, that's how round it is.
So it
So,
sounds kind of hard to move.
A little hard
so
to move.
Captain, what's your name?
Yeah. You're asking for my name?
Yes.
My name's Alan.
Well, Alan.
Alan Walker.
Alan, do you know who you stole this from?
There's a pause. And he goes, "Yes."
Can you
Why?
tell me who?
Doesn't matter.
Well, I'm just curious because the people who want it back, they didn't tell us who they are, so I'm just kind of curious.
I mean, there's probably a reason for that.
Doesn't matter who they are, I'm still gonna give it back to them, or maybe not. Who knows?
You know what? You guys promised to take it, right?
Yeah.
All right. There's currently a war. These people claim they were creating this weapon more so as a deterrent, but I don't know. We didn't trust them. We want to take it away from them, hopefully to scale things down a bit. We weren't necessarily going to give it to their enemies, but, well, we wanted to hopefully make things die down a bit. And, of course, they're after us. You guys are technically after us in a way, but we are just giving it to you, so, we don't need to fight. There's a group called the Maktai. And, as I mentioned, they created this weapon. To my knowledge, if deployed properly, they'll be able to dispatch their enemies all at once. At least that's what we're told.
Spiffy.
He turns and looks at it and kind of puts his hand on it, and you just hear metal on metal, and he says, "Yep. I have no interest in using it, but all the same."
All right, well, since you and your crew have been down here, we're going to take the thing. We're going to have whatever crew can help move it in the middle of our group, and you and me are going to be in the front exiting this weird cavern.
That's fine with me. Do you guys have any way for us all transported together? I mean, we do have some... Well, we did. It's probably still on the ship. We need to check, I guess. We haven't gone back out there, but we should be able to connect our mechs directly to it and just fly it out. I just don't know if we can leave.
Oh, we're leaving. Trust you, me.
Oh, I want to leave. I don't know if we can. Is the problem.
No, we're leaving. Okay, we're leaving. And we're doing it now. Hurry up. Gather your
You're
things.
going to
Let's
leave
go.
without your ship because Clearly,
no,
it's not working.
the ship's ruined.
Well, your crew can move the weapon all together, can they not?
Theoretically, yes. We might need a
Okay,
little bit of help.
well-
Where and you kind of look at them and they look in obvious disrepair.
What do you need from your ship to help move it?
We have these straps that we can effectively attach to our mechs, and then we'll fly it out. But I'll be honest, our boosters aren't necessarily in the best circumstances as a current.
Nara,
Yep.
can you fix their boosters while we go grab
I can
some
fix
straps?
anything.
I know you can fix anything. That's why
I got you.
I asked you.
Oh.
Hey, Aldous, can you fly over and grab the straps for me?
Sure.
As you fly back over to the ship, using the information that you receive from Nara, you're able to pretty quickly find the straps. But you do notice something. The ship looks in further disrepair for some reason. The metal looks like it's eroded a bit. And you notice that there seems to be a couple feet of liquid just sort of seeping out from the ground that you don't think was there before.
I'll radio everyone. I think we got a problem.
What's up,
I think we're in
Aldous?
its stomach.
Oh God! Can we please leave now?
So,
Is it
Alan,
stomach acid then?
Looking outward, you guys do sort of hear a bubbling as you pause your conversation. You can hear
Alan,
it sizzling in
I'm
the
pretty sure
distance.
you hid the weapon inside the stomach of this planet.
I don't know where we are, man. I just want to leave.
All right, well, does anyone have any antacids?
I do. Not in a large enough dose.
All right,
You give me
well,
enough
let's get these
time?
straps on and get out of here because I'd rather not melt inside the stomach.
As Lotus flies over and supplies you guys with the goods, you're able to pretty quickly strap the weapon to various mechs and such. But you notice the further you guys move away from this point, the more the walls begin to shudder, and the quicker the substance begins to seep from the floor.
Question.
Answer.
Can Aldous do some magic voodoo to make the weapon temporarily lighter to make it move faster?
I do believe he could. We'll definitely treat it as a sliding scale, but I would say minimum to make it much lighter would be 4. You're able to lighten the load enough to make it noticeably easier for them to move this thing. You do have to kind of split your attention, Aldous, and focus a bit on this, but you do know that it's helping the team substantially. As you guys do this and kind of get up and get ready to go, they seem very eager, almost too eager to leave. You hear the bubbling get louder and louder, and the walls kind of shudder again, and you begin to hear this high pitch, like ski, just in the distance, and you hear like a. And
All right,
the
guys, we need to move now.
telltale sounds of things moving around you are now incredibly obvious. As you guys begin to move towards the entrance, now the exit, you notice that it is covered in a wall of membrane.
Alan's crew, let's start heading over there. Nara, if you can try to make another batch of that Gooby Gone stuff.
Do they have any supplies on them?
They have basically nothing. Nothing as technologically advanced as you would need, Nara, to make more of this stuff.
Can I combine my like a shit ton of sticky bombs? I will burn through all my suckers right now to do it.
Okay. I will say, Nara, you have enough of this stuff to get most of you guys through, but not all of you. And you know that this junk on the membrane would harm the weapon possibly if it gets like in the engines and whatnot, because it is relatively open.
How strong is it?
The membrane?
The stuff that's gonna splatter on everyone.
So it's more messy than anything. You just know that getting it in this weapon is a bad idea.
Can I do my cool mint lollipop to plaster the weapon in a protective sheet of ice?
Oh, that's cool. I like that, sure. Aldous, how you helping with this general situation? You guys begin to hear fluttering and flittering and creatures flying from the distance of this stomach, as we call it, and coming towards your location. You know, they'll be on you momentarily.
I mean, we're just trying to like squeeze through this tunnel, right?
Wait, actually, yes. Can you use your eyeballs to distract the thingamajigs that are coming?
I mean, I could try.
I'm going to tell Alan, move your men near Nara. You're going to help me defend.
They
this.
pull out the weapons they have left, and they are ready, like they are armed and ready to shoot at the things that are flying towards them. Aldous, go ahead and roll your lore for me and see how distracting these eyes are.
Not very.
Not very, but enough, I would say. Nara's good, Georgiana's doing her thing. Both, basically, Nara and Georgiana are just both taking time to do this, and then Ryder and Aldous are effectively on the defense, we'll say. there are so many of these little bug shits flying towards you. You summon your eyes, and what exactly do they look like? How are you distracting the enemy with them?
It's like a bunch of little tiny eyeballs. They're just like flying around them. They're just like a bunch of little annoying flies.
That sounds horribly annoying. So surrounding annoying flies and more annoying little flies. I like it.
Pretty much, but they're annoying little eyeballs, not flies.
Excellent. Whether or not they're disturbed by this, you're not entirely sure, but they're definitely getting in the way and slowing them down. Ryder, are you assisting with shooting the enemy back, or what are you doing?
Yeah, I want to shoot the enemies.
Roll me shoot. Both of your combined efforts will tell us how we succeed here. All right, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to roll one time, and this is basically the combined chunk of the enemy, and we're going to compare this against Ryder's specifically, and then both Ryder and Aldrich will take this many shifts of damage. 0. How convenient. Actually, no, I'll use one of my scene fate points, and then make that 2. All right, so both Ryder and Aldrich are going to take 2 shifts of damage, as these creatures they're very clearly distracted, and you, Ryder, and your boy and all of his men and women they're firing up and just blasting these things down as they're swarming around you guys. And they're kind of.
Didn't I match it though? Didn't I match it though?
Yes, and then I add +2.
Oh, can I use my momentum boost?
You can, sure.
Me no want to take damage.
That's perfectly fine. So neither of you take damage. So you guys are able to fend them off just in time for Georgiana to completely freeze the weapon and for Nara to concoct enough of this brew to get you guys through. And you guys are able to basically shoot them back in waves and waves, and you're able to defend your team and your party. And as you do, Nara, sort of leading with her concoction, is able to burn through this wall. And you guys actually feel kind of around you as you're moving forward, the walls shake and gyrate more and more as you feel the walls membrane is like pushing inward, which is kind of annoying, Nara, but turning about, Alan and his group are kind of able to cut through what they need to cut through. And when you guys eventually get to the other side, the hallway looks smaller, like substantially smaller.
Of course it does.
Shrinking?
And as the walls gyrate and kind of shake again, you can hear them contracting.
Hurry, guys, move faster!
As all of you get through and begin to boost and blast your way forward, everyone in conjunction is basically trying to help pull this thing out. And out of the very walls, like pustules, you can hear them like cracking open. These whips begin to cut out and lash at you guys as you're flying outward. Everybody roll me pilot.
Before you say that, how far are we from the Barbados?
His hippocampus?
Yeah, it's hippocampus. Sorry.
You're relatively far from it. So it was in the middle of that large room, and now you guys are out of the room. You're past the membrane wall, and then you're into the next area.
I pressed the button.
You press the button, and you guys don't see it, but you feel the walls shake, and this time you know it's not because they're contracting, it's because something very large just exploded. You almost feel the heat. Now all your sensors are kind of going wild, and they're finally able to make out at least a little bit of where you guys are currently located and where you're headed. You can see various bits of ship and mech and various things that this giant ball of flesh has run into over the years, sort of weaving throughout these walls. And you can sort of hear cracks as the walls just begin to like shift and these turns look different. Everything exiting isn't just reversed as it normally would be. It looks completely different. You guys are going up when you would have gone down. You're going left when you would have gone like a full U-turn left, but you guys know you're headed outwards. This explosion very much angered this thing. And as you guys are pushing forward, there's another room just up ahead with just an insane amount of these tentacles just hanging down that are bladed, and they're just whipping about. But you guys can only push forward. And as you begin to fly through them, everyone go ahead and roll me some pilot. Georgiana got a 3.
Wait, everybody?
Everybody. I mean, you all got to fly through, don't you?
Ooh, youch. I'll use a fate point for that.
Go for it.
Because, it's 3 per session.
Same.
Georgiana and Nara take 1 shift of damage. Aldrich 0, Ryder 2.
Oh, well then I boost with a fate point.
Okay, you also take 0.
Sorry, I thought we both got 2.
Oh, you're good. Go ahead and subtract 1 point, and you're good. You get out just fine. You guys are able to kind of like twist and turn with your blades and weapons, and you're able to get through the enemy. You're seeing more and more of these things burst from the walls. Some of
See,
them,
like the mosquito alien things, like catching on fire from the ship that I blew
oh yeah, many are following you guys still. It looks like the membrane wall pulled away, and they are still on fire while they're chasing you guys. And you're just gunning them down as they are behind you. And moving up ahead, you guys know you're almost at the mouth. You can see light. You just feel like you're at the end. Nara, you almost mapped out these ever shifting and changing walls, but as they're changing and shifting, your sensors are kind of keeping up with it. Weirdly enough, you realize that one of the reasons why you couldn't scan is because the walls kept changing and shifting. But on the way out, you finally kind of found the pattern, question mark? If it even is a pattern, it's almost so random, it's easy for you to track. Almost by instinct, this thing moves. On the way out, you guys notice that Alan has lost one of his compatriots, but the weapon is still held firm as he's turning and shooting and blasting away at the enemies. Now that we see the mouth and the exit of Raad.
Can you just tell me, like, right when we exit the mouth?
What do you want to do? The exit's just up ahead.
I'll tell you once I get out.
You guys are about to blast outward. Before you reach the mouth, though, you can see it slowly closing. These worm-like creatures are sort of bursting out of the skin like long teeth, attempting to connect and prevent you all from leaving. What do you all do?
I have a terrible idea.
I love it already.
So if technically I use like a simpler version of the Weaver's shit, maybe I can, on a smaller scale, unmake stuff like they do. Like try to just delete the worms, basically.
Try to delete the worms. Okay. You're tapping into something that you haven't, maybe you've considered it before.
This is trying to be a god.
I have no idea how to do it, but I'm gonna try to do it.
But interestingly, yeah, I like that. I like that. I'm gonna say we need a 5 minimum just to do it. And if you fail, you'll take baseline 2 shifts of damage. And any fail past that, additional. So if you roll a 1, you'll take 2 plus 4.
Oh, boy.
But if you succeed, you will eradicate all these worms.
Let's hope I roll well, because I don't have any fate points.
I believe in you.
No!
Boost it!
He can't.
I can't.
He's out.
I'm out of fate
He's out of
points.
juice. He's out of juice.
Am I able to help him?
Let's rewind real quick. So technically, someone can do a setup action prior to Aldris doing this. Are you announcing you're doing this, Aldris, or would you have just done it? Because you guys have a little bit of time.
I mean, I would have told him I'm going to try to do something stupid.
Okay, so he says I'm going to try to do something stupid with your 3. Don't take the damage yet. We'll hold on to that. One of you guys, what would you have done to help Aldris do this?
We're being chased by stuff, right?
You're being chased by a lot of boys, and he's trying to basically remove the worms that are like teething in on you guys up ahead.
In front of us.
In front of you, yes. You're also being chased from behind.
So what I'm going to do is what I was going to do once we exit the mouth. I'm going to turn around and be like, move! And I'm going to like open up ports in my armor. Just think of Iron Man or War Machine or like Heavy Arms Gundam where like things open up and I just shoot like a ton of missiles.
Sure.
Explosion time.
I will say that won't help Aldris, but that will hold the enemy back. And while you're doing that, Nara or Georgiana can help.
Holding him back enough so he can focus more.
This will assist in the leaving part, so that's good.
So would slowing them down work?
Sure. What do you have planned?
I was thinking my stickies.
All right, sure. I will say shoot, and you just need to get a 3. So with create an advantage, as long as you tie, you do create a boost. So that's all he needs. What does this look like, Georgiana?
I just want to spray it out in every direction so that it looks like a spider web.
These boys are attempting to meet in the middle, Benjamin Button style, and she is not allowing them to, as she's webbing them apart. And Aldris, you notice that this is just precisely what you need to finish this. So technically she's making an aspect, which you're instantly using, which is giving you +2, which brings you to, conveniently, 5. So as Ryder is unloading on all the bugs behind, Ryder, roll me shoot real quick. I'll also ask a 3 of you. Nailed it. Slowed, but not completely destroyed, of course, but you are laying waste to them. And Aldris, yes?
Fate point.
All right. Then you are indeed laying waste to them. There's so much just shaking and explosions going on from down below that they're just piling into each other and slowing down and slowing down. You can see the walls just contracting, and You can see it getting angry. It doesn't make any sense, but you can just feel anger emanating from this thing. And Aldris, you are unmaking of these sticky worms. What's that look like?
I will send like a light beam forward, and they'll just all be gone. And then when we exit, it kind of like remakes them.
Ooh, weird. Okay, that's super cool. So they like dematerialize for a moment.
Yeah, so they like blink out of existence.
Yeah.
Pretty much.
And then you guys fly by, and they come back together, which makes sense because you rolled a 5, you met it rather than exceeding. So they weren't completely undone, but you basically phased them out of existence for a moment. Who knows how they feel about this situation? But that piled up with the explosion, piled up with Nara melting all the walls and pissing this thing off. You guys just burst out of this mouth with utmost speed, flying as quickly as you possibly can back to the Kabuto. And Little Ghost is very scared and holding on to Georgiana. Incredibly
Having a bad
confused.
time.
Ghost is giving me courage to keep going.
I'm gonna look at
He's still terrified.
I owe Ghost a very nice snack.
I'm gonna look at Alan and his team. I'm like, well, that was fun.
His team is lesser. Fortunately, with your big explosion at the end, he didn't lose any more individuals. It is him and 3 others. They look around as the planet of Raad just slowly continues floating away. There are a few like peripheral beasts that attempt to lash out at you guys, but fortunately you jetted out of there fairly quickly. And with the wall materializing behind, they actually kind of stop themselves, interestingly. But you guys can tell that you have the device, the ice shield around it, Georgiana. Effectively melts away, and it seems completely undamaged. Alan and his team thank you, Ryder. Their fanboyness has died down a little bit, but they will definitely tell the story of you guys. It's only died down because, well,
Kinda lost some people.
there's fewer of them. Yeah, they don't blame you in any way, shape, or form. They are more just shocked as what the hell just happened. And you guys are now 1 super weapon richer to turn in the monies.
Excellent.
Go ahead and say we can pause our session there. We'll turn in and we can look at the thing next week. I can almost guarantee Nara wants to look at it before you guys give it away.
Yes.
That is your
Yes.
specialty after all. Plus all the information. If you want to jot that down, you're more than welcome to do so in the party notes. I can also make a personal notes for just you if you want, and you can write things that you want to ask next time around. If you want a
Yeah.
personal journal, let me know. Otherwise, you can write the party notes or jot it down on your computer, whatever works for you. Any hoots, we'll go ahead and pause there and reconvene next week.